Accelerator with Ari, having a bit of a chat around the accelerator here in Kansas City, which helps startups build and grow, really aligned with the corporate values, but also bringing other corporates on board in order to align them with some of the company outcomes and getting them that first customer status. Ari, tell us a little bit more about the Sprint Accelerator and what makes it so excellent.
So yeah, thanks for visiting us today. This is our 4th year, so we've done 3 years through a partnership with Techstars, and then had various other programs to support colliding the corporate engagement, corporate innovator side, that community, and startup entrepreneurs, tech, and all of that. This is the first year we'll be doing the corporate accelerator with other corporate partners, so it should be interesting. We're looking to really connect startups that are solving specific challenges for those corporate partners of ours. So we've brought on several more. We also do a lot of other programming like Co-working Wednesdays, intentional collisions around a specific theme, getting those people to talk, and then our 6-month mentor network directly connects corporate executives, director and above, to startup founders to really work on their skill gaps and get them connected and expand on those resources.
Yeah. One of the things that really impressed me in our conversation was the way that Sprint is investing in startups, and they really see this as giving back. Obviously they get a bit of benefit of being able to access the technology, but they're also bringing other corporations on the board, really leading the example. And even we were talking to your colleague Doug earlier, and he was saying it's actually bringing people to the region, creating employment. The whole giving back seems to be a real ethos. That's what's happening here.
It is, and that is a big focus and pillar of Sprint in general. That was part of the reason we chose this location in the Crossroads, was to reestablish roots and really make it apparent that we are a Kansas City company. But I think it says a lot, just leading by example. And now, we have several partners for the 90-day corporate accelerator involved. We have 19 area corporations involved with our 6-month mentor network. So there's a lot of people kind of at various levels trying to get involved and trying to find ways to connect, and we've become that thought leader in Kansas City and across the country. In a lot of ways, we're talking to a lot of groups trying to combine those two entities.
Yeah.
So.
And not only across the country, but globally. You mentioned you had a whole bunch of startups coming from outside, so maybe some of the startups in our home in Australia, and even Ipswich near Fire Station 101, if you had something to say to them, what would it be?
So Kansas City is actually rich with resources, and people are extremely willing to help and connect. It's not so cutthroat, but we're connected across the country and globe. So, and right now we're actively looking for any startup in the digital realm, so omni-channel, ads and mobile advertising, and then ag tech also. So that would be, our partner there is Dairy Farmers of America. And they have a whole array of challenges with logistics and data management and 14,000 farms that they work with as members. So it's All
right, excellent. Well, let's see if we can get some of those in here.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Johnson County in Kansas City. Had a bit of a chance to catch up with Melissa, who shared about the not-for-profit's focus in building up the local entrepreneur ecosystem with an emphasis on the angel network. Part of Melissa's job was to help educate and create the systems to educate angel investors, in contrast to some of the more mature markets that we've seen in Colorado or in San Francisco. Melissa shared that their market is around 3 years old, and so they have to adjust and cater their education accordingly. She said, look, Chad, it's a bit of a long-term game. You're talking 3, 4, 5 years to create some of the mechanisms needed, but they're taking a structured approach. A lot of support from local governments, and from a lot of different agencies to be able to build this up. Everybody gets it as far as a need. Had a bit of a chance to have her share a bit more and tell us a little bit more what the organization's all about.
Hi, I'm Melissa Roberts. I work here at the Enterprise Center in Johnson County, where we help connect entrepreneurs to the resources that they need to grow and scale their businesses. We help entrepreneurs find resources like education, co-working space, mentoring, and connections to capital through our Mid-America Angels Investment Network. We're a hub of entrepreneurial activity here in Johnson County, and we work really closely with other entrepreneur support organizations around the Kansas City metro area. But what I'm really most proud of in the work that we've done lately is we started an MIT affiliated mentoring program here to help Kansas City-based entrepreneurs get connected to a team of qualified volunteer mentors. And our Angel Network recently had its biggest year ever, injecting over $3 million of private capital into growing businesses here.
We're back at the Kauffman Foundation for 1 Million Cups presentation. A couple more co-working spaces to see today before we fly out to Toronto. Let's go see what we can see. So we're here at the Kauffman Foundation, just got out of a session with 1 Million Cups, a bit of a pitch event they have every week in order to engage the local community around new ideas, entrepreneurial thinking. Saw a couple of pitches, and one of them in particular actually made a sale. I'm going to go by his shop later on today to pick it up. Yeah, good time. So we're here with Jay with JayFabWerks. Saw Jay this morning at the Kauffman Foundation doing a bit of a pitch to get interest. Really interesting in that Jay's creating an actual physical product with potential global scale. And how does he actually access the global market? So I decided to come on down to Jay's studio here and check him out and get a bit more about what he does. Jay?
Yeah, I make stainless steel roses and stuff like that, and I kind of center them around holiday and seasonal deals. Right now it's really big around Valentine's Day, and they're kind of flying off the shelf like hotcakes, and they're kind of one of a kind because they're roses that'll never die and they'll last forever. One of the big things with them is that I'm trying to get them globally around the world because not a lot of people have this stuff in their countries, and so with sending them around the world, it kind of gives it a memorabilia effect and a special meaning for whoever they're getting it for, and kind of just sends a really nice, peaceful, loving message about them.
And speaking of peaceful, loving, Jay, we also saw the pitch in the Kauffman Foundation, which has a strong social impact focus.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things you also mentioned was teaching young people how to do welding, giving them a bit of a skill, maybe even passing on some of your trade.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that such an interest to you?
It interests me because growing up, I didn't have that, and being able to teach it to other people, that way they have their hands to actually carry on a skill, that's a lot more valuable nowadays than people think, rather than being tech savvy and stuff like that, because you take away all the electronics, all you have your hands. So that's something you can work with.
So for someone, let's say, for example, in Australia, who is looking for some of your product, how would they find you?
You can just www.jayfabworks.com, works with an E, not an O, or social media, Instagram, JayFabWerks. And just from there, you can just find me and contact me or send me a message.
Excellent. Thanks, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
here in North Kansas City with Robert and iWerx. Robert just gave me a bit of a show around looking at some of the space. Very funky, very cool, but attractive to just a range of people that use it. They've had incredible growth. Robert, maybe it's just some of the things that make iWerx so incredible.
Sure. Well, we're very pleased that we opened in October of 2016, and already we have about 70% full. I think that people are relating to the fact that we do have a funky, fun place to come into work. We have a real strong community between the different entrepreneurs, which is very important to us. And one of the things that we really try to attract is that multi-generational entrepreneur, so that the younger generation can take advantage of the older and vice versa. The younger have a lot more tech savvy than our older workers, and so that they can help there. But our older workers have the network and the finance and those type of things that can help the younger generation. So that's really great for us. We really feel like we really do have a lot of collaboration here. I enjoy so much seeing our members sitting in each other's offices talking, because I know what's happening is it's not just social, it's businesses being done. I love walking by our conference rooms and seeing them filled with other businesses from the outside of iWerx coming in and wanting to take advantage of what we have here. So there's a couple of things that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, and some of the things that really impressed me when we were walking through, you have everything from a virtual reality green screen room to you're building a sound studio. You have the full conference room with the catering options. A lot of the amenities anybody will be looking for. If somebody's out there, whether it's in the Kansas City area, North Kansas City, and they're looking to come in, what would you say to them as far as a recommendation?
Well, the nice thing is that you can, the way we set this up is you can dip your toe in the water. On a month-to-month basis, come in, try our cafe, enjoy that, and see, without taking that big step of getting that big office. But right now, I think that things are coming together. I mean, it speaks for itself. 70% full in less than two or 3 months, and it's only growing. What's really exciting also for us is the impact it's having on our community. We've brought in approximately 26 businesses to North Kansas City, which is a small enclave of Kansas City, that these people would not be in North Kansas City now. And our last count, we have over 60 to 70 new employees here that are interacting in this community. And so it's really having a major impact, I think, on this town.
Excellent. Congratulations and well done.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. So here we are in Kansas City at ThinkBig. Incredible space right in the heart of Kansas City. An opportunity for people to come in and run their business. Vibrant community. Huge buzz here. Here with Sarah, having a bit of a chat around what makes ThinkBig so special. So, what is it that people find so compelling about ThinkBig?
I think people come here mostly for the energy that we provide on a regular basis, and it's the entrepreneurs that make that happen. Of course, the physical space is one that encourages that, but I think the fact that we have energy going on with other projects, smart city projects, the innovation consulting that we work with, the technology companies, the private companies, public sector, all of those bridges, and the fact that ThinkBig Partners as a parent company combines all of those things. We help create that energy, and then the folks that come here help foster that energy even further.
Because you guys are pretty instrumental in the smart city ecosystem within Kansas City, yeah?
Yes, I'd like to say so. We helped orchestrate the public-private partnership between Cisco and the city, which is now the largest installment in North America of the smart city sensors along our streetcar line.
Wow, incredible. So, what does the future hold for ThinkBig?
We plan to continue to work with other workspace people like yourself, whether that's consulting, whether that's partnering. We continue to grow our own location locations within Kansas City and then beyond in the region. So we continue, physically to grow, but then also our clientele, and just as we develop more business lines, we'll continue to grow those as well. And we hope that in 2018 we'll have some more spaces and announcements to make, and I'm sure you'll not hear the end of us quite yet.
And so if somebody out there is looking for a co-working space, what would you say to them?
Definitely ask yourself, should I build a co-working space first? And help evaluate those questions, feasibility studies, assessments, look at your market, look at your real estate, certainly those pieces first. But then beyond that, being able to understand how do I make a sustainable and profitable co-working space, workspace beyond that. Those questions are big ones you should ask before you jump in, and we are certainly happy to help with those. I'm sure there's other people as well, and we'd love to work with you if that's the case.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. At the Kansas City airport, just getting ready to fly out. Kansas City, love you to death. What an incredible startup culture you guys have. I landed Sunday night with only a couple meetings booked. Met Matthew at the Kansas City Startup Village, and he just hooked me up with meeting after meeting, back to back. Such a giving community. Every time I left, somebody said, Chad, how can I help? Same thing back to them. Made some really good connections, even for our startups in Ipswich, to be able to potentially come over here. Met with Safety Culture out of Townsville. They had some people here. Kansas City, what a fantastic experience. Thank you very much. Look forward to definitely coming back.